Chapter 6 of The Shining Gateway by James Allen. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Andrea Fiore. Chapter 6. Memory, Repetition, and Habit. I shall gain, by purity and strong self-mastery, the awakened vision that doth set men free from painful slumber and the night of grief. When a particular combination of words has been repeated a number of times, it is said to have been committed to memory. That is, it can be repeated without any visual reference to the words themselves, without any pause or effort. Indeed, the words then have a tendency to repeat themselves in the mind, and sometimes people are troubled with the ringing of a refrain or the repetition of a sentence in the mind, which they find it very difficult to get rid of and forget. There is a sense in which the whole life is a process of committing to memory. At first there is act. From act springs experience. From experience arises recollection. From recollection, repetition. And from repetition is formed habit. Hence proceeds impulse, faculty, character, individualized existence. Life is a repetition of the same things over again. There is very little difference between the days and years in the life of a man. One is almost entirely a repetition of the other. Every being is an accumulation of experiences gathered, learnt, and woven into the life by a ceaseless series of repetitions, extending over an incalculable number of lives, which thread their way through eons of time. The life of a man, from the germ cell to maturity, is a repetition, in synthesis, of the entire process of evolution. There is a cosmic memory at the root of all growth and progress, which is an informant and sustaining principle in the process of evolution. The sensuous memory of man is fickle and ephemeral, but the supersensuous memory, which is inherent in all matter, building up forms and faculty, is infallible in its reproduction of experiences. Life is ceaseless reiteration. Nature ever travels over old and familiar ground. Man is daily repeating that which he has learnt through the schools of experience, in which the lessons acquired may have long been forgotten, but the acquired habit is not forgotten. It is carried forward and continues to act. The unconscious and automatic ease which marks the play of faculty is not the ready-made mechanism of an arbitrary creator. It is a skill acquired by practice. It is the consummation of millions of repetitions of the same thought and act. Thoughts and deeds long persisted in become at last spontaneous impulses. It is a profound truth that there is nothing new under the sun. It is possible and highly probable that, in the round of eternity, even all our modern inventions and mechanical marvels have been produced innumerable times on this and in other worlds. In this world, new combinations of matter appear from time to time, but are they new in the universe? Who dare say that, in the mind which overarches eternity, the cosmic memory is not reproducing things long since fashioned out of itself? Nothing can be added to or taken from the universe. Its matter can neither be increased nor decreased. Chemical combinations of matter vary, but matter itself cannot vary. Life likewise does not change. In the forms of life there is continuous flux, but in the principle of life there is no increase or diminution. Forms come forth only to retreat and disappear, but that which disappears is not lost. The memory of it is retained, and it continues to be repeated. Eternal disintegration is balanced by eternal restitution. The mind of man is not separate from the eternal mind. In its daily repetitions is indelibly written the record of all its past. Character is the accumulation of deeds. Each man is the last reckoning in the long sum of evolution, and there is no falsification of the account. The mind continues to automatically perform the habit, which encloses a million repetitions of the same deed. Compared with this ineffaceable, unconscious memory, the memory of 70 years and 10 is as a fading vapor to an Egyptian pyramid. The tendencies, impulses, and habits of which a man is a victim are the repetition of his accumulated deeds. They unfold the destiny which he has wrought. The grace, goodness, and genius which a man exhibits without conscious effort are the fruits of the accumulated labors of his mind. He repeats with ease that which was learned by painful labor. The wise man sees a reflection of himself in the fate which overtakes him. Life flows in channels. Every man is in a rut. Men tell their fellows to get out of their ruts, but they themselves are in ruts of another kind. The flow of law of nature cannot be avoided, but it can be utilized. We cannot avoid ruts, but we can avoid bad ones. We can follow along good ones. In their training and education, the children of today are strictly confined to ways which are worn by